Hey everyone, Captain Amazing here, and today we're going to do a Grand Arena. So if I sound a little weird, I'm a little under the weather, I apologize for my voice. Other than that, I do ask that you like and subscribe if you aren't already subscribed. So let's jump into this. My enemy is Turbo in the old Galactic Republic. He has 9.4 million GP, 5.5 in characters, 3.8 in ships. He has 26,000 galactic war battles, so a good amount of time played, almost 6 years. Let's see what he has under the hood. He has 6 GLs, so Lord Vader, SLKR R8, Jabba the Hutt, JML, Rey, C. Not too worried about this, whatever he has here. Depending on what he places, I think I can get through these GLs. He has gas, some Malak. He does have Leviathan. So is Darth, Revan, and Malak at R9. Maul, Jedi Knight Luke, Malgus. So a good amount of investment here into his account. He's definitely has an advantage to me at my 7.7 million GP to his 9.3 in ground. Let's look at his ships. His ships, he has a 6-star Executor and a 6-star Leviathan. So that's an opportunity for me if he can't get through my ships. So he did place a pretty good defense. So he has SLKR, Jabba on the top wall with a Padme team. And then on his bottom wall, he has Lord Vader, Malgus, JML with some bounty hunters and not too much. So I started off with a Fennec against Lord Vader. So I don't have, in threes, I don't have a way to disintegrate Royal Guard. So I decided to go with an armor shred because I have to actually work through them. I do have tenacity up, so it wasn't really an issue with Palpatine being in there. This is a very irregular team. So I go with another armor shred so I can work through the Royal Guard. And at this point, with 3 armor shreds, he goes down pretty quickly. I decide, because I have the Datacron that does ability block every time I damage them, I decided to just go straight for Lord Vader. I wasn't worried about Palpatine, and I worked through Lord Vader, and then Palpatine goes down really quickly on this one. So it wasn't really an issue. I was expecting a little bit of an issue, but I had decent banners there. So my Traya is only gear 12, and this is an R7 JML. So not a huge. This player doesn't over relic his GLs or the GL teams. But still having a gear 12 Traya, it's a bit of a disadvantage. I would say Savage and Darth Vader are the core of the JML counter for Lord Vader. But and it gets a little scary at times, but I'm pretty confident that even if Traya goes down, that I'll be able to take out the sides here. This team was a lot tankier than I was expecting them to be, and it takes a little while for us to ramp up with Traya, and Traya definitely goes down into the yellow a few times. But as I start to work through these teams, especially I have to take out Jolie, because if I take out JML and Jolie revives JML, that would be incredibly devastating for me. So my first plan was to just take out Jolie, and then I do have to work down JML so that he doesn't have any more protection so that I can get to Jolie. But I'm doing my best to try to get over and then work on him. But he's incredibly survivable, and this team has some evasion. It has some tenacity up with those foresights, and it's just an incredibly annoying team. It's not too crazy with their damage, like JML's only R7, so but it's hard to work through this. I do end up getting the sides down, and then I just throw this on auto, and I'm pretty confident that this team is going to do it. The biggest threat I usually have after I take out the sides, and especially if Trey is still alive, is just timing out. So I do take it off auto just because I noticed that Vader did the lightsaber throw and took off the ability block, and I was like, oh, I can't have Vader kind of like throwing this fight for me, so I decided to just play it on auto. But it's going pretty decently at this point. I'm just gonna work through them and then hopefully, yep, get the kill. So a very cheap counter for this. So I decided to go with Rey against SLKR. With I could have mirror matched SLKR versus SLKR. This is an R8 SLKR, but I wanted to save my SLKR on offense for Jabba because I don't have a reliable Jabba. So I figure I can take Rey here and I have a decent chance of winning this. To believe it or not, I don't have a lot of experience with Rey versus SLKR. So I think I could have done this a lot better. If I would have done this again, I don't know if I just had some bad RNG and he survived just a little bit there and he had just like a sliver of health. And then I go straight into a whirlwind and it's not enough. And at this point I was like, okay, I'm not going to get through this SLKR with my Rey. But I did take out the sides. I decided to go with Imperial Troopers. Imperial Troopers is an incredibly good counter on SLKR. I would have probably just Imperial Troopers it if Hux wasn't there. But this was a very easy cleanup for me with the Imperial Troopers. But I did drop a battle, so it wasn't great. But it saved me for using my SLKR here for Jabba. And that is huge for me because SLKR is a very clean and good counter against Jabba. Again, he doesn't have super high relics on his Jabba team. And I wasn't too worried about this. But it can go wrong if they go straight for SLKR. But at this point, I feel it's okay. Like I'm just working down Crescenton. Now that his taunt is down, I can take out Bush. And then once Bush goes down, I'm very confident in the win here. Even if First Order Officer goes down, I'm just gonna continue pushing down Jabba. And even he has a lot of survivability and blinds, but once I go into my ult and start swiping, I'm gonna ramp enough that I can just blow through this Jabba. So I'm at this point I have absolutely no worries. Jabba can't do anything to my SLKR, and it may look like my SLKR isn't doing much damage here, but he ramps incredibly fast. So Jabba gets his Datacron invincibility. I can poke him and get the win. So for Malgus, I decided to use Jabba. I did this because Malgus is an incredibly difficult character, especially with Malak, and he doesn't have a lot of off-meta counters. I don't have a good Cal Kestis, Jedi Knight Cal Kestis, or Mace to really use the Jedi counter because my Mace is too low gear for this. And then I can't use Traya because I already used them. And then my bounty hunters, I'm really not confident in Bossk and the Mando getting the kill here. I possibly could have taken some teams to work down the sides, but I decided, even though I have no idea what's on the back wall, I decided to use my Jabba here because I just wanted that reliable counter. And then I even had to use the ult to take out Malgus because he's incredibly thick. And then for Malak, I don't think I'm going to be able to, even with Bushcron, I don't think I'm going to be able to work through Malak. So my plan here is just to build up my ult and then use my ult to take out Malak because it's an incredibly like he's just healing up a ton and I'm not doing any damage to him. So for this, I just decided, yeah, I'm just gonna keep going and then use my ult and then I'll take out Malak, and it's a really clean counter for me. A bit expensive, but I had to do what I had to do to get through this win. But an easy 57 bouners. I decided to use a weaker Jedi team with just Jedi Knight Revan to take out this Bossk led bounty hunters. There's no real threat here. If I go straight for Bossk and target him and give him buff immunity and stun, then usually with Jedi Knight Revan and Yoda, I can burn him down without having any issues. And once you go through his protection up, or his protection, it's very easy. The only threat was with Boba Fett, especially with all the buffs that my Jedi get with Yoda spreading them and Bastilla giving them out, is if he would have annihilated one of my Jedi. But I was able to get through it with no issues, and was able to get a really clean win here. So I was very happy with the outcome of this, and it was overall pretty cheap counter with full bouners. So I do have they did put Bastilla here with some Jedi. There's no real threat here except for Mace. Luckily, the weakest target was Obi-Wan, and he taunts, so I was able to just go straight on him and got a very easy contract. I decided to use the big hit with Boba on Mace Windu because I wanted to take him out. And I was thinking maybe I should take someone else out, but essentially Mace is the only threat on this team. Once he's gone, there's really no worry here. So I decided, even though he's low health, I'm just going to take him out with the Disintegrate. And then it's only a matter of time of me working down this team or me disintegrating them. So I decided that this was a very easy win here, very clean, max banners. Really happy with that. So I get to see the back wall here and what's available, and it's absolute trash. So I think he was planning on me not getting through his wall. So now I can do some overkills here because I take everything for offense. And I just had a Padme left. I thought about bringing in Malak to solo it, but I have a lot of options here, and I decided, you know what, there's no reason to take the risk. I'll just take a cheap Malgus, and that'll save Malak for a counter, another team that's easier to solo for him. And then I have also a Darth Revan team with Bastilla and maybe Set or something, and I can use that as another team as well. So overall, like 3 teams with my Sith Empire is a very good split for me. And I with what's left on the board, this Padme was actually the hardest team left, so I wasn't too upset using Malgus to counter her, and it was pretty clean. So Star Killer against Bugs. Star Killer is a gross overuse, but this is the second hardest team that was left, and at this time currently the hardest team, and he just like swats down those bugs like nothing. So first order, so I decided to use a better first order team against this really crappy first order team, with AR7 Larry and a first order TIE Pilot Omicron, and I just like blow through this team like nothing. So their first order had absolutely no chance against me. Max banners, easy win. So in Kyber, I got to use Wampa, which I was really excited about because they had trash teams in the back. So I ended up using Wampa here to clean up Mon Mothma, and it was really fun. I always love when I get to use some Wampa in Kyber, and this team was absolutely no threat. Easily just wamp them out. Easy 59 banners. So for this one, I decided using Malak to take out the Ewoks. It's like not even a threat. I just need as clean a banners as I can because I don't know how efficient my opponent's going to be. So I end up using Malak to take these guys out. I was thinking, do I want to use like Malak against Mon Mothma or something, but I decided Wampa was easy for this, and Malak is a great use of just soloing this. So I used General Kenobi here with Jedi Knight Luke because I have the prestigious quest where I have to underman wins. I just never did them, and I've been working through them, so I need 2 more. So this was an easy underman win for me with Jedi Knight Luke and General Kenobi, and I clean 58 banners, so I was pretty happy with that. So for this new Gunray team, I ended up using Sith Empire. The thought process is, since Jango has damage immunity, I can just keep him feared the entire 2 turns that he has damage immunity, and then I can clean him for max banners. And that's pretty much what happens. Like, Jango can't really do anything. He has 3 stacks of fear on him. Once he takes a turn, I'm just gonna put some more fear on him until I can start working him down, and then he goes down, and then I kill his second life as well. So really clean, easy fight, 57 banners. This was an absolute joke. I just needed some teams, and this is like the easiest win I ever got. All right, so now I have ships. We have a Negotiator, a Home 1 fleet, and the Finalizer. I decided to use a Gear 12 Malevolence against this fully relict team. I probably should have used that. I wanted to stun the Y-Wing. I didn't read the ability, and they need to be buffed to get that stun off. So that was a mistake on my end, but ultimately not the biggest of deals. I'm just trying to work on Anakin. I'm getting really bad at RNG here because he dodged those 2 hits, which would have put him into invis. But you know, I'm like, I can work with this. I try to spread some buzzies, and then I get the hit and kill Anakin. At this point, I'm feeling really confident in why I tell people to farm Malevolence, because this is a fully relict Negotiator fleet, and my fleet is a fully Gear 12 fleet, and I'm just absolutely destroying this fleet with no issues. So I personally think it's a really clean win. Got 69 giggity, but really happy with that. So with the home one, I decided to use Empire. Usually I'm punching up, and I never go first, so I went first on this time, so I was really confused on what to do. I decided to just go after Wedge because it's an easy kill. But so I take out Wedge, bring my first reinforcement for the TIE Defender, just work down that Y-Wing, the Rebel Y-Wing, have my bomber here so I can clear the buffs, and now I just have Han Solo with the Millennium Falcon. I bring out my Gauntlet Starfighter just to get a few banners back. I do a little bit of heal, and then I just take out the Millennium Falcon. A very easy win, pretty clean, 70 banners. And then I have the Finalizer left, so I use Negotiator. My Anakin is only Gear 12, so I was actually a little worried about this. And then they stunned him, put him in Viz, so I have to use that ability just so I can get the extra life, just in case they keep going after him. And then they stun my Y-Wing, so you can lose this fight. It's just like really rare, but I have low gear, and I'm working on my pilots right now, but they're currently low gear. I was able to get the buff immunity on the TIE Enchilada, so I decided, you know what, I need to just go straight for Kylo Ren because he's the danger here, and I have such low relics that I don't have relics on these characters because they're Gear 12, that it becomes an issue. But once I take out Silencer, I feel like, okay, I have some more breathing room here. I decided to take out the Marauder. He doesn't have all his abilities leveled up, but he's still a useful ship. I use his second special to heal Anakin because he's honestly pretty weak right now. If I had it fully leveled, I could have put him under stealth, but I didn't. And he has like a sliver of health, so I'm really worried that my Anakin's just going to go down and I'm going to lose some more banners. But I was able to finish it off. It's an okay, not too clean, 67 banners. Overall, I felt like I did pretty well. I dropped one fight, and I had a 20-41, which I felt was pretty clean, considering my opponent, who out-GL'd me. I had a very slight advantage for fleets, but overall, I felt like I had a really good offense here, and I was quite proud of it. All right, so the results of the match was I won a pretty defining win here, and I'll tell you how I won, and I think it's quite shocking, because my real defense here is my ships with Leviathan and Executor. The Radis is just a placeholder, but that's like my big defense of how I would have got, how I was hoping to get at least 2 holds, so I would get the win. But on my bottom wall here, I think he saw my score and he did some risky battles. So he dropped a battle on a Gear 12 Iden, and he dropped a battle on my Finzori. So once he lost his second battle here, he knew He knew mathematically, because he dropped 2 battles, that there was no way for him to win, and so he stopped fighting. And so I ended up decisively winning this one with a very, very, very horrible ground defense that he just underestimated and was trying to get as clean as banners as possible so that he can beat my score, which was actually pretty decent here. So if you like this content, please like and subscribe. I'm trying to build up my channel and gain awareness. It's free and it helps the channel. Other than that, thanks for watching my Grand Arena, and take care.